What's up, guys? It's Eric and Marcus from Rare Candy, and today we're back with the second round of the recent Myrtle Beach, South Carolina League Challenge that we got to go play and record at. So it's going to be round two. On the left, we have Jeremy Stewart playing Rainbow Road, and on the right, we got Mr. P playing, I think it's just like Giratina Garbodor?
Yeah, it's like Giratina, Garbodor, Hammers. I saw Magirna in there while he was shuffling just now too. So yeah, just annoyance.
So Giratina dot deck.
Yeah, yeah, just yeah.
I think he also plays a Lugia EX as well, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
I did see Lugia in there too. Whenever I had to play against him.
This could be interesting because, like, okay, so Giratina is weak to Fairy, so Rainbow Road can easily knock out a Giratina.
Right.
But at the same time, Giratina shuts off DCEs, it shuts off your EXP shares, your Sky Fields, or, whatever your stadium of choice is in Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
So a fast Giratina can actually really hurt Rainbow Road pretty badly.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how this goes. I'm not sure who is favored, but I'd like to say Rainbow Road is probably favored here just because of the type advantage and it's a non-EX attacker.
Yeah, I'd like to say so too. Like you can get around not having double colorless. Like you see in his hand, he's got max elixir. So there's ways to get multiple energy on the board in one turn too. So I think Rainbow Road is favored as well. Like he does, like Mr. P does play hammers, but I feel like he can still just get around that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Assuming he flips heads on like every single hammer or something like that. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Who you think's got the sicker playmat? That's what we got.
Ooh.
That's really what we got to talk about here.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to Doge. Like, good game. Wow. Please draw a card.
Good doji.
It's just a real good doji. That's all I can say. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. The starters on the other side, those are pretty sick too. But I'd have to give it to Doge. I'm just all about the critters. Anytime they got a good old animal on that mat, that's real good.
See, did Jeremy draw a card for turn? I'm actually not sure if I noticed that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We were too busy looking at the playmat.
Yeah, I was too focused on Doge.
I hope he drew a card.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it. But anyways, so grabbed a Trainer's Mail. That's Parallel City, which actually can be annoying. I'm assuming that Mr. P plays his own Parallel City.
Yeah.
So he won't be able to bump it now. Okay, so here we give a Fury Belt down on Xerneas.
Get these tools down while you can.
So Ultra Ball, getting rid of a Max Elixir and a Dragonite. I would have maybe even opted to, well, I'm not sure what he's going to grab.
Yeah.
I was going to say potentially maybe would have discarded the Fury Belt and attempted to get another Xerneas and Max Elixir to it before Sycamoring.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm thinking here, but let's see what he opts to go for. Maybe he wanted to get a Shaman or something like that instead.
Yeah.
Here he's looking like he's going to favor getting a Bisharp, or a Pawniard, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Pawniard.
So this can actually be a decent attacker as well in case that Giratina does lock Jeremy's basic energies. Oh, there's Shaman. Okay, so he forgot to pick up some of the cards that were in his deck, I think.
Yeah.
Because he had like a little stack of them sitting there.
Right.
But, okay, so he does play the Bisharp line, though, so that's interesting. So potentially if he gets locked out of special energies, it is a decent backup attacker. It can swing for 90, which 2 shots of Giratina without a Fury Belt.
Yeah. So then you pass.
What do you have in hand? Look like Sycamore, Lysander, and something else?
Looks like Sycamore, Lysander, and N. I could be wrong.
Huh.
Yeah. If you're talking about Jeremy's hand.
Yeah, Jeremy's hand there.
Yeah, it looks like 2 Sycamores, a Lysander, and an N.
I probably would have favored just playing Sycamore or N here.
Yeah.
Getting down a couple more Pokemon. Just setting up your field a little bit more. I mean, luckily he doesn't need that many Pokemon to actually take knockouts with his Xerneas, but...
Right. So he gets a Hoopa, and who is Mr. P going to go for?
Probably Lugia.
Yeah, Lugia, Giratina.
Or Lugia and Shaman, depending if he doesn't have a supporter, but Yeah, Lugia is definitely the best guy to go for.
Yeah, Lugia,
really good attacker here.
Lugia for sure for one of them, just because your Giratina's weak to the Xerneas.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he grabs Lugia, Magearna, and a Giratina.
Okay. So I guess maybe just grabbing an extra Pokemon just to thin his deck out.
Yeah.
So maybe he has a Sycamore or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, if you get Giratina powered up, he can easily take knockouts here. And Giratina is cool because, and looks like he forgot about the Parallel City, so he actually can't bench the Giratina. And now he has a Magearna stuck there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he would have preferred to get
Giratina.
that down instead.
Yeah, for sure. So he just Sycamores the Giratina away. Wow.
Okay, but Giratina I think is actually going to be okay here because he did hammer away the energy, so we know a Rainbow Force is not going to happen. So
so he'd need like an attachment and 2 elixirs to be able to do something. Or well, never mind. I guess he's got DC still. I was thinking he was under Chaos Wheel Lock already.
Yeah.
So playing N.
But here, if you guys aren't familiar with the Rainbow Road deck, basically Xerneas has an attack, Rainbow Force, for a Fairy and DCE. It does 10 plus 30 more for every different type that is on your bench. So you can hit for some crazy numbers since a lot of these dual type cards came out in Steam Siege.
Yeah.
And with Giratina being weak to you, you're hitting for really stupid amounts of damage, basically.
Right.
But the reason we're talking about Lugia, though, it has the Aeroball attack. It's just a DCE, but 20 times the number of energy on both active Pokemon. So that's going to be a little bit of a pain because the Xerneas does have a Fighting Fury belt, but its other attack is pretty good too. I forget what it's called. It does like 70 plus 80 or 80 plus 70 if there's a Stadium in play. Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, who the Lugia?
Yeah.
It's,
something Deep
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah, it's something along those. It's Deep Hurricane. It's something along those lines, like 80 plus something more. I can't remember.
I think
honestly.
it's 70.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a good attacker since it's not weak to Xerneas here. And Jeremy's hand is pretty dead. It looked like, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So here Mr. P is going to be able to start using Chaos Wheel this turn. And man, he is doing good on those hammer flips. So this is not going good. Okay, luckily Jeremy does get bailed out with this N because his hand was looking kind of wretched otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he just really needs to focus on powering up that bench Xerneas. Kind of concede the fact that this active one is going to get knocked out.
Right.
On the following turn. So really just put all your eggs in that one basket on the bench.
Yeah.
He does draw into a Pawniard. So again, we're saying that's a decent backup attacker if he does need to use it at some point. But I don't know, if you're Mr. P, I think you're feeling pretty good at this point.
Feeling okay for sure. You got you've hit some hammerheads on there, so you're about the Chaos Wheel.
He has another hammer. Let's see if he can continue to run hot here with these flips.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
3 for 3. Jeremy's got to be frustrated.
Yeah, that has got to be annoying.
And now I think that flip will actually give Mr. P enough turns to actually get Lugia powered up, assuming he can hit energy.
Right.
But Lugia should be able to get powered up enough to get a return knockout on this Xerneas whenever it inevitably knocks out Giratina.
Yeah.
So that is super, super rough.
Right.
Does he have a supporter in hand? I know he has Bridget, but does he have anything else that you can make out?
See an Ultra Ball, maybe?
Okay, he does have Versus Seeker.
So he gets rid of Versus Seeker and Bridget. I'm assuming he knows he has a Shaman in there to draw cards with?
I think he has a Sycamore in hand.
Okay.
So I think he just kind of knows in his head he's going for Sycamore.
Yeah.
So going for Carbink, that's actually a good card here. Since that Mr. P doesn't have any space to set up Garbodor on his bench.
Right.
This thing is probably safe from ever being knocked out unless Mr. P plays Hex in addition to his Garbodor.
Yeah.
But he does actually play Garbodor because we haven't seen it.
No, he does for sure play Garbodor, yeah.
I'll take your word on it.
Yeah.
So here he's opting to drop another Xerneas and then just Sycamore. I don't know. I almost kind of favor benching the Pawniard since it's a 1 energy attacker once it evolves.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Mr. P is got to be running out of hammers soon.
Yeah.
But here he's just going to pass. Getting a DC down on Lugia, like you're saying, trying to power that up for whenever Jeremy inevitably gets a return knockout on this Giratina.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Again, if you're Mr. P, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
You can kind of know, you can kind of place your bets that he won't be able to attack you since he can't play his DCEs. He's already gone through a decent amount of energy, so max elixirs might not work at this point in the game.
Right.
Okay, so what does Mr. P really want to hit here? Just energy, I guess?
Yeah, I think just get Lugia set up.
That seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I think is that a...
And here he just takes a knockout. Here he promotes Carbink. I actually probably would prefer Mew.
Yeah.
That way you can give yourself the option of retreating into whoever you want. I
Right.
guess. But he might already kind of know in his head, hey, I don't plan on doing anything else this turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not promoting anyone else. So I'm just going to put up the Carbink. But generally speaking, it's just usually a safer bet to promote the Mew. That way to get
Yeah.
at least give yourself the option
Mm-hmm.
to retreat into something else if you change your mind.
Right.
But he's going for Joltik. That could be a potentially another decent attacker since it hits Lugia for weakness on the bench.
Yeah. It's also 2 types once it evolves.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the Pawniard more just because it can hit for 90 once it evolves.
Yeah.
And just as far as the math goes, that will 2-shot Lugia.
Yeah.
But, you never know. Jeremy actually might be in a position to start coming back because, like we said, Mr. P's got to be running low on hammers. I think he only has 1 left. So now he can start powering up Xerneas. So he has a bunch of stuff he can't play in his hand. Okay, so his options, I think, are Sycamore and a Super Rod here. Off that Trainer's Mail. Looks like he might be favoring the Super Rod. Okay, going for Sycamore. I actually like that because he doesn't have a supporter currently for next turn. And he might be able to draw into that Super Rod on the next turn. Okay, so Trainer's Mail. And I feel like you just don't take anything there. Oh, Versus Seeker, I guess if you want to end your opponent. But he has a Fairy Energy in hand, so he will be able to attach to Xerneas. But now he's actually in kind of a weird situation. Oh, so Mr. Peace reminded me he can't attach double colorless energies. But now he's in a weird situation because he needs to power up. Okay, so he realizes he will need an energy on this Carbink to retreat at some point, so
Yeah.
he's just opting to get it down now. So Jeremy's going to need another 2 turns to power up a Xerneas with basic Fairy energies.
Yeah. Those hammers are definitely putting in work this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. So here it looks like Mr. P is eyeing down a Lysander.
Mm-hmm.
That seems good. Going to go for this Xerneas, try to get it off the field as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So this one Giratina might even go the distance.
Yeah.
It's definitely doing its part here.
That's what it looks like.
Okay, so yeah, I think this will work out good because he will be unable to attach a DCE.
Mm-hmm. Put some metal on Magirna.
I think maybe just preparing in case of like a Lysander stall.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
That seems fine to me though, because I think that is one of Jeremy's only outs is to break the Chaos Wheel lock for a turn
Yeah.
to get some new stuff down the board.
Right. So he's going to bump the Parallel City with a Fairy Garden.
But this is actually, guys, things get a little tricky here because he's actually unable to do the parallel or bump the Parallel City because of Chaos Wheel.
Yeah.
And they do catch this at some point. I'm not sure where at. So here he's going for Skyla. Okay, he's grabbing a Parallel City to bump the Fairy Garden. And yeah, they should catch this at any moment now.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I can
I
see
think
Yeah, I
he's
saw
like
him stop
he
shuffling. He's
stopped
like, okay.
started thinking about it. I was like, wait a second. uh, I could use my Skyla for another hammer instead of this Parallel City.
Okay,
Or maybe
and
he didn't catch it. I don't know.
yeah, I think they did.
Okay. Oh
But
yeah, because he's holding the stadium in his hand.
all right, guys. So I think what we're gonna do here is they take a minute to kind of get a judge over to fix this. I think I'm just gonna make a cut here and just fade up to where the next, um, to when they resolve this. So we'll see you in a couple seconds when we
Yeah.
cut to that. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry for that little cut there, but I think they finally got this issue resolved. So basically, they just kind of reversed the steps. Basically, kept that original parallel city in play, and here, Mr. P was skyling for a parallel city, but they let him, I guess, not commit to that since
Yeah.
obviously the whole board state was messed up because of the stadium debacle or whatever.
Right.
So. But here, so I think he is committed to the Skywell search. I don't think they'll let him take that back. So here, he's just getting to pick a new target. So what do you go for? Just support it for next turn?
Yeah, it looks like you grabbed a delinquent.
Yes, I could be good as well.
Mm-hmm. Bump the Parallel City, get to put something else down, or maybe parallel him.
Yeah, since he does play his own in this deck.
Yeah.
So here he's going to do just another Chaos Wheel, knocking out Xerneas. And that was big Lysander at Xerneas because I think that was probably going to be his only out, to be honest.
Right.
I hate to say it. I think the only way now that I think Jeremy can make a comeback is if he sets up Galvantula and just Lysander's Magearna and just forces Mr. P to constantly have energy to retreat it. That's the only way I can see him making this work at this point.
Yeah.
Here he's just going to pass. And so, yeah, now Mr. P is in a great position. This Giratina is putting in all kinds of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Giratina is going a long way for him. I definitely thought that Rainbow Road was favored in this matchup, but now I'm seeing otherwise. I mean, the what was it? How many Crushing Hammerheads did he get? Like 4?
I'm not sure if he's... Yeah, I think he's only played 3 so far, but he's flipped heads on every single one.
Right, so the 3 Crushing Hammerheads have definitely helped out for sure, but yeah.
So here... Oh, yeah, he can't play the Fighting Fury Belt, but he is opting to try to power up this Xerneas.
Uh-huh. Yeah, at this point I don't know if he has another option other than to power up his Xerneas, even though he won't really attack for much damage.
Oh, and does he grab his last Crushing Hammer off this trainer's route? Can he go 4 for 4?
Let's see. Please take Crushing Hammer, please.
You know,
please yes.
Yeah, he knows that's what people
Come
on YouTube want to
Mr.
see.
Yeah, he does. Come on, Mr. P, flip heads. This is going to be amazing.
I can.
So I think they called it like a reroll since it was on the corner of the card or something, but I don't know. It still flips tails, so
yeah, that's fine though. 3 out of 4 is
3
great.
out of 4 is pretty good still. So good job on flipping your coins, Mr. P.
So what can he do here? Just stall behind Carbink, but
yeah,
all he has to do is Lysander,
mm-hmm.
and he wins.
So
Because he can Lysander Shaman for game, and he does have the Lysander. So
yeah.
That will be the game, and Giratina takes a pretty convincing game actually against Rainbow Road. Which,
yeah, he doesn't even I don't think he got an attack off that game.
He never did once. All those hammers just kept setting him back over and over and over. Anytime it looked like he was like about to get an attacker powered up, Crushing Hammer just came and like ruined his day.
Right. So that game, I think, it literally all just came down to like, he had Magearna and Lugia on the board, but it really was just that he, had a Giratina and a lot of hammers. So, or flipping heads on a lot of hammers, I should say, I guess. But
yeah, so that's crazy. A deck again. We both kind of said, hey, I don't think Giratina is favored here at all.
Yeah.
But then it ends up just winning very convincingly.
Right.
So, but anyways, guys, that's going to be our second round. Stay tuned. We have 3 more. So be sure to check them out once they get uploaded. But as usual, feel free to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our merch over at rarecandytcg.com. Pick yourself up a playmat, shirt, dice bag, something to help support the channel. It would mean a lot to us. But with that, we appreciate you watching, and we will see you for the next one.